I'm Brian Parker. I'm the admissions manager here at Holy Trinity High School. One of the things I wanted to do was sort of start off with a video of Holy Trinity so that we can all sort of get a sense of really what's so exciting about Holy Trinity. Obviously, you're going to learn about the excitement and all the great things that are happening in our community, all of our successes, all of our history. But let's start off with a video so that we could really sort of all come together with the same understanding. And then we will move right into our teacher panel shortly thereafter. So I'm going to share my screen and enjoy this very short video about Holy Trinity High School. I'm working on it.
When I walk through the doors of Holy Trinity, I know I'm at home. We are a strong, diverse family, each of us working.
Sorry about the technical difficulty.
When I walk through the doors of Holy Trinity, I know I'm at home. We are a strong, diverse family, each of us working toward a common goal, to be good people, proud of who we are and where we're going.
Over 100 years ago, the Brothers of Holy Cross founded this school to provide students like you and me an opportunity to pursue our dream and reach our full potential. The classes are challenging, but the teachers always offer one-on-one support. They understand the challenges we are facing, whether it be in school, at home, or with life. That extra attention motivates me to work even harder.
Having a Catholic education was always very important to me and my family. The combination of moral guidance and rigorous academics will set me up for success, not just in my career, but in life. Beyond traditional sports and clubs, Holy Trinity offers students opportunities most high school students never even dream of. We have a college visit program, amazing internship opportunities, and the chance to have a truly life-changing experience.
Discipline,
Integrity, excellence,
family,
zeal. We are Holy Trinity.
and this is home.
All right, again, that's just to get us started. If you were listening to the video, actually a couple of trivia questions were already answered. So I hope everyone was taking advantage of that. So now we're gonna, one thing I wanted to mention before we move on to the teachers is, even though this doesn't directly affect the participants because we don't see you or hear you, but this session will be recorded. And also, as a follow-up to all the participants, we will be sending a link to this session so that if you want to be able to go through some of the Q&A question and answers, or some of the things that the teachers are talking about, or some of the other things, you know, you can definitely just have that available to you. So I'm going to turn this over to our teacher panel, and they are just going to introduce themselves, what classes they teach, and possibly give you some ideas of how you as a student can be successful at Holy Trinity. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Good morning. My name is Miss Free, and I'm a member of the math department. This year I am teaching Algebra 2 regular classes and honors classes, and also the senior discrete math class. As an incoming freshman, most freshmen would begin in the math department with Algebra 1 and then take geometry. Depending upon if they are a good math student or a poorer math student. If they have a hard time, they may be then junior year in an intermediate math class. If they're an average student or better, they would then take an Algebra 2 math class. And then from there, senior year is usually pre-calculus or discrete math. Our better students come in with honors Algebra 1, following the same sequence basically, but honors classes, geometry honors, Algebra 2 honors, and pre-calculus. Some students are even better prepared, and if you have already had Algebra 1 in 8th grade and do well on the entrance exam, you may begin with a geometry class, then move on to Algebra 2, pre-calculus, and then calculus AP for senior year. One of the other things that we're very proud of at Holy Trinity is that we have been participating in the Illinois State Math Contests the last several years. Many of our students have won awards in the regional contest, which takes place at the end of February. And I think every year that we have participated in the regional contest, we have also qualified students for the state finals, which happen in the beginning of May. So I spend, and another of our math teachers spend quite a bit of time preparing our students for the math contest. And we're just really thrilled at how well they do. A couple of things that students can do in order to be successful in math. I think the most important thing is to ask questions. If you don't ask a question, then I don't know if you have a problem or not. And even besides asking questions, it's always a good idea to at least try. So many people look at math and say, I can't do it. But you know, if you actually pay attention to what's going on and try something, usually you do know something or have some idea of what you can do. So it's important to make some kind of an effort. Okay, that's really all that I have to say. I think next is Ms. Maselli.
Good morning. I'm Ms. Maselli. Welcome again to Holy Trinity. And I teach in the Business and Technology Department. So we have a wide variety of courses offered to our students. Typically as a freshman, they would either take computer applications or BSTEM applications. And from there, they can branch off into continuing with BSTEM applications. They could go on to advanced computers. We have AP Computer Science, as well as a variety of robotics courses. We have a combination of a corporate experience and entrepreneurship class that we call NIFTY and corporate experience. And that is where students are encouraged to embrace an opportunity and create a business for that opportunity. We also have a track going on to senior year that includes design thinking. Students are required to take one full credit of a combination of the business and technology courses for graduation, but of course are encouraged and hope that they would take more than just one credit. Several of our classes are one semester long, and we do have some that are a full year, so they could get a broader exposure to a variety of types of these classes. The format for the classes are basically project-based and experiential, so they're very, very hands-on. We meet the students where they're at and encourage growth to their individual potential. So it's not one of those cookie cutter classes where here's a chapter to read and here's a test and here's a quiz and this is how you get an A. It is think outside the box, and we encourage students to grow to whatever that potential might look like for them. Basically, the sky is the limit in all of the classes that I just mentioned. We do have some special advantages or opportunities, I should say, within these programs. So the classes that are associated with BSTEM is a combination of business and STEM, where we encourage the entrepreneurial mindsets to be expanded upon. And the entrepreneurial mindsets are basically those life skills: how to problem solve, how to work collaboratively, how to use communication skills. And especially today during this pandemic that we're in. It's so important that students are learning all of these life skills to help them be successful beyond Holy Trinity. These classes also offer a variety of competitions, as Ms. Bree said. So we have had competitions within the Nifty Corporate Experience class, where students have gone on and competed at the New York City level through the Nifty organization, which is the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship that we partner with. And we've had some very good success in that program. We've had 4 students over the last 3 years competing in New York, and they had last year, the students won, and they won a large amount of money, $9,000 and $17,000. So it was money in their pocket that they were able to use for their college education. So that was very exciting. But we also offer internship programs, and we also, which are with companies downtown. So Holy Trinity was the first high school in Chicago to establish a paid summer internship program with companies downtown, and our program is called Friends for a Future, and that program is in its 26th year. So we were the first to come up with, develop that program, and we're very proud to say that we were even able to do it during the pandemic, where we were able to place 6 students in companies doing virtual internships last summer, and they were all paid a wage for that. So again, they're paid internships. It's money to the students, not to the school. And we also have college. It's different than the college visit program, but we work with Smith College, and we have opportunities for young ladies to go to Smith College. We have internships with Northwestern University in the medical department, which I think you'll hear about a little bit later on, because I see one of our students here on the panel. So we have plenty of unique opportunities offered in Holy Trinity, but the most important thing is we meet students where they're at, and we encourage them to grow to their individual potential. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Lohenry. I am in the science department here at Holy Trinity and have been for quite a few years here. Currently, I am teaching 2 levels of biology and 1 of anatomy physiology. And this morning, Mr. Parker has asked me to just give a very brief overview of what your students' science program would look like here, and then to offer some suggestions for how they can be most successful in science here at Holy Trinity. So our students have an entrance exam that they take, and from the entrance exam scores and the elementary school scores, we determine whether they are eligible for an honors program here at Holy Trinity or will go through our regular science curriculum. If they go through the regular science curriculum, the freshmen begin with a physical science class, move into biology their sophomore year, and then beyond that, as there are 3 science credits required for graduation, they have the option of taking chemistry or physics, or we have an earth and space science class as well to fulfill the requirements. Most students will opt to take a 4th year of science, and so we also have physics available to them, or the anatomy physiology class that I teach. For the students who are selected for the honors program, currently they would be students who start out with the honors biology class. And 2 of the young ladies that you meet this morning, Eva and Kaya, will tell you a little bit about their experience. I'm sure that they were part of the honors program, and so began with the honors biology class, moved to honors chemistry, and then they have the option in their junior senior year of taking AP physics, honors anatomy physiology, or they can also take the earth and space science class if they opt to. So for the honors level students, they would be able to fulfill their 4 years of science education, which of course most universities like to see. And of course they like to see students who are successful at the high school level. So how to be successful in the science department, having talked to my science and math department colleagues about this, as well as other colleagues, I would say in my mind, there are really three things that they need. They need to be goal-oriented, and both in terms of short-term goals and long-term goals. They need to have some kind of idea of how their freshman and sophomore year classes and grades fit into the plans later on. One of the things that I spend a lot of time in the fall doing is writing letters of recommendation for seniors to be accepted to their universities of choice. And we look back at the transcripts to see how the students have done through their years. Sometimes I think freshmen come in and think, oh, well, not that important, I can play around a bit. But for those students who really have the idea of this is what I want to do next and into the future, those are the students who tend to walk in with success-oriented goals right from the start. Second thing I would say is organization. And this, of course, is a challenge for all of us in these modern times with so many demands on our time. But the organized student has a tendency to be the most successful. So organized in terms of having everything together. Is your Chromebook charged? Do you have your notebook ready to go? Punctuality, getting to school on time. Here, as we're doing our remote learning, that means, you know, being in your place in your home, ready to log into those classes and ready to participate fully as a student, you know, not in your pajamas, not eating your last Cheerios, but ready to go. And in terms of that time management too, trying to eliminate distractions so that the phone or the games or whatever else is kind of a reward for finishing the things that they need to do that will allow for more success in school. And finally, I think this piggybacks on what both Ms. Free and Ms. Maselli had said, is this idea of having a growth mindset, being able to problem solve, being able to persevere and have the ability to realize that not everything works out the first time. Sometimes it's difficult to understand a science concept, a math concept, propose a business plan, but not to be discouraged by an initial failure. Sometimes those things that don't work out in science, in business, are the springboard for the success. So to arm your student with the ability to deal with the setbacks, to kind of fight their own fight, brush themselves off, and have the grit to go on to the next level. So I, as Ms. Maselli is proud of her entrepreneurs, I am proud of the students that I meet all the time. Our alum who tell me, yes, I'm in medical school, or the one that I ran into at the National College of Chiropractic, which is now National University of Health Sciences, studying to be a chiropractor, the nurses, the lab technicians, students from Holy Trinity take their science and go far if they choose to. So I look forward to seeing the next crop, hopefully in the flesh in the future, but virtually for the time being. So it was very nice to virtually meet you all.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Schmitz. I teach history. Let me just run through your schedule. As freshmen, you have the option of taking geography. You don't have to, but you can take geography. Sophomore year, you have to take world history, and junior year, you have to take United States history. I teach both of those. Senior year, you take government law, which Brother James, who will be on next, can tell you about. One other class I want to mention is an elective class called economics that I teach. It's open to juniors and seniors. We started this a couple years ago, and it's really a fun class. So you have that option. And I've got a guy come in every 2 weeks. Coach Larry, the soccer coach, comes in and talks about the stock market, and students pick stocks. And if their stocks go up, they get a little money. I'll turn it over now to Brother James.
Thank you, Mr. Schmitz. I'm Brother James Van Dyke. I'm a member of the Brothers of Holy Cross, and I'm proud to say we were the ones who started Holy Trinity about 110 years ago, even though I wasn't here at that time. Mr. Schmitz has talked a bit about the courses that are offered through the Social Studies Department, of which I am a member. In addition to the ones he named, there are a couple of electives that are available to upperclassmen: Holocaust, and one called Africa, Asia, and Latin America Today. One of the strengths of Holy Trinity is that I have seen courses offered or developed specifically because students have expressed an interest, a desire to have these particular classes. So that's a good thing. In addition to suggestions that you've heard from other teachers in other classes, such as being prepared, participating, listening. And by the way, I'd like to point out that notice how some of those skills cut across all the subject areas. They work no matter what you're studying. In the Social Studies Department, I'm going to recommend that you take the time, course by course, to see a connection between the course you're taking then and other courses you've already taken, or to what's going on in the world. In social studies, we have the luxury of being able to bring in items that are going on in the news because they're very relevant, for instance, to the government classes that I teach all seniors. Certainly, current events is kind of the life's blood of government and the advanced placement government classes. But it's also relevant to Miss Maselli's courses in business and entrepreneurship, because with the pandemic going on, that has impacted the business world. We see things going on, certainly in overlapping with science, with the development of vaccines. Math and English, we know, are always going to be useful. So looking for and seeing those connections between what you're learning and the larger world, the things you've studied before, the things you will be studying in the future, is a way to really mine the importance of what those courses offer you. I'm going to suggest too that to be successful at HT, Holy Trinity, or any other school, have conversations with your parents about what's going on in school. What has happened in your class today? What has excited you or puzzled you, or what have your eyes and ears been open to? And both parents and students, I'm going to suggest something very, very basic here. The software that Holy Trinity uses to post assignments and grades is called Schoology. And it's similar to something familiar to some of you in the office called Power School. All of your assignments are there. Parents and students can continually update to see what your grade averages are. If there are questions of things, you can message your teachers through Schoology, as well as through the school's Gmail account. Look at the mail that might be coming into your mailbox from time to time as well. Ask a lot of questions, not just to get yourself tied into the class, but to stimulate questions from other students, or to maybe prompt your teacher to say something that he or she might not have thought to bring up until your question brought it forward. Everything you do, as was mentioned by Ms. Lohenry and by Ms. Baselli and Ms. Free and Mr. Schmitz, everything you do is moving you forward to the future. Everything you do during your time in high school is preparing for college or trade school or military or whatever comes after high school. Our lives are continually rolling forward. And I believe that Holy Trinity can help you in that role. I'm happy to say that in social studies, like in other departments, in addition to honors classes, we offer some classes for dual high school, college credit, so that as you advance in your studies, you might even graduate from Holy Trinity with some college credits already in your record, giving you a very definite stepping stone to success later on. Holy Trinity is a wonderful place. I think all of us on the faculty will agree we like being here, and there's a magic about the place that you understand if you're a part of it. We hope to see you at Holy Trinity in the near future.
Well, thank you, teachers. I think you gave a very good insight to not only your department, but also how students, especially incoming freshmen, could be successful in your particular class. We're going to open up questions that that if any family may have specific to teachers. Please ask questions now in the Q&A box or in the chat, and then we will read the questions to the teachers. We'll do that for about 2 or 3 minutes. So please write questions in the chat or the question answer box. There will also be an opportunity at the end of our session to have questions. So if you don't have questions right now, that probably means that the teachers did an amazing job of really giving an idea of their particular discipline. So congratulations, teachers. Now we have our student panel, and I will have them introduce themselves. And just like with our teachers, it's really sort of an opportunity for you as students who are looking to see if Holy Trinity is the right place for you, is to also get a perspective from the students. You know, first of all, you know, just get a sense of really sort of like what sort of brought them to Holy Trinity. You know, what was the tipping point for them? Was it something in the classroom? Was it something outside the classroom? Is it sort of like a family tradition? You know, what brought them to Holy Trinity? What is something that they enjoy about Holy Trinity? And then maybe I think would be even more important is some of the activities that they're involved in both inside and outside the classroom. As you heard from other teachers, we did, you know, it just so happened that both of our students are honor students. So that's definitely somebody, as you talk about these different activities that they're involved in, they're obviously someone who's very serious about their schoolwork as well. So I'm going to hand it off, and we're gonna go with Eva first, and then Nakaya, just go alphabetical. Take it away, Eva.
Hi, good morning. My name is Evelise Terrell, Eva. I'm a junior here at Holy Trinity, and some things that I'm involved in is Link Crew, which is another freshman, is for freshmen based. So we help freshmen and we make things easier as they transition from 8th grade to high school. I've been an active member in Student Ambassadors, which pretty much does the same thing. We help freshmen and we help educate and inform about our school. A few reasons, I chose HT for a few reasons, but if I had to choose one, I would say it's because of its diversity. We have international students that come from Mexico, different parts of Asia, and then ethnically speaking, we have people of all different backgrounds. So for me, that was something that I really appreciated. And I loved it. I immediately made my decision. I knew that I wanted to be here and I couldn't really see myself anywhere else. Now I'm a junior, and looking back, I can definitely say that HT didn't disappoint. Like Ms. Maselli mentioned before, we get offered opportunities that I didn't even know were possible. And they've really just shown how much they care for their students. For example, I can very confidently say that I don't know any other high school or any other school that has their president waiting at the doors every morning to greet their students. Not only does he greet all of us, but he greets everyone by name, which may seem minor, but it's really just the small efforts that show that you care that add up, and they make a really big difference. I think that's what makes HT feel like a second home. It's like a family. My advice for future students here would be to get involved and stay involved. And I don't mean just with extracurriculars. I also mean that academically. I know that that's something that can be hard, especially now with our current situations in e-learning. But as you can see today, we make things work. And so
being involved academically is really important. You want to be present and you want to communicate with your teachers. Just push yourself and take those risks, because risks are really important. You want to experiment and see what you like and what you don't like. Other than that, I would say to just have fun. They're always saying high school is the best years of your life, and so we all want to be able to look back with no regrets, and I can very proudly say that HT is the best place to do that. Thank you.
Oh, Nakia, would you like to share?
Hi, my name is Nakia. I'm a senior here at Holy Trinity. I've been here for all 4 years, actually. Started my freshman year, like Ms. Lowe said, depending on where you place when you test, you do either jump right into your sophomore year classes, or you start your freshman year level with your typical physical science. I had the pleasure of working with her and being in her class my freshman year as a biology honors student. Each teacher talked about the different opportunities that we do have. Right now, I'm taking design thinking, which is a class Ms. Maselli talked about, which is within our B-STEM program. I highly recommend taking those classes. It does come with various opportunities, such as what she talked about, the summer internships. Although I unfortunately did not partake in it because I was already working, I've heard from other students that it is a great opportunity to take in. So if you want to do something over the summer that's productive and want to make a little bit of money, I recommend during your sophomore, junior year talking to Ms. Maselli about that. I chose Holy Trinity for a number of reasons. For one, friends. Most of my friends were coming here, and most of the kids that went to my elementary school end up coming here, and I didn't really hear any bad things about it, so I'm like, why not check it out? And when I first came here, I was overwhelmed with like a lot of heartfelt messages from the staff. Everybody welcoming, making me feel like I am a part of the HT community, that I'm loved here. So that's one of the things I love about HT, is that the staff members go above and beyond to show that they care for their students, which is something you don't see with a lot of schools. Some teachers either do it for the money or whatever the reason is, but the teachers don't hesitate to make sure that you're cared for, that you're loved, and you want to make sure that you have the best experience at HT. Some of the programs I'm involved in here, I've been a part of SGA for all 4 years, Black Student Union all 4 years, Student Ambassadors all 4 years. Let's see what else. I'm a part of the girls basketball team, a varsity captain actually. So if you want to, if you're looking into sports and you want to ask somebody who's the best person to talk to, I can either refer you to any other sports friends, or if you're interested in basketball, you can always come email me. You can talk to Mr. Parker about contacting me any type of way. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say about HT. I recommend coming here.
Well, thank you both, Nakia and Eva. If there are any questions for our students, as we did for the teacher panel, please ask your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat, and we can try to get your questions answered by our students. So we'll give you a minute or so to prepare your questions. So like our teacher panel, it is obvious that the student panel answered all the questions that you had, or it could just be a little too early in the morning. But either way, one of the things that we will do as a follow-up is, again, to give you a recording of this presentation. And if you have questions, we will also list our email addresses if other questions come up a little later. So one of the things I wanted to do is we are going to do a virtual tour of our building, which you probably think would be possible because you're not actually here. But here at Holy Trinity, we are always about how we can have families get to know us. And even in this climate and environment, it really is important for you to sort of see our building and see our space. So we'll do that in just a moment. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about what the application process looks like for Holy Trinity. So Holy Trinity is a Catholic private school, which means that, we have a question. So actually, I'm gonna answer the question before I start on the process. So the question is, and it looks like it could be for, let's see, let's ask a question from Tristan. How many students are in each class, and how many freshmen are usually accepted? Okay, so I think I can answer that question. How many students in each class? When we are in the building with our students at 100%, right now we're hybrid, but when we're at 100%, our largest class is really between 22 and 24. And that's typically going to be one of our freshman classes, as a lot of freshmen do come in sort of taking the same group of classes. But as you move into sophomore, juniors, and seniors, as you sort of branch out into different electives and sort of some of the non-required courses, then your class size gets a lot smaller. So you could be in a class as a freshman as large as 22 to 24, or if you're also starting as a freshman in honors class, you could be in a class of 12. So it really varies, but we really try to keep the class size small so that you as a student can be involved and get to know the style of the teacher and their teaching, but also more importantly, the teachers can get to know their students. So I know some of you in your elementary school may be used to, 27, 30, in even some cases 32. So this here at Holy Trinity will be probably a very refreshing scene where we max out at 22 to 24. How many freshmen do we usually accept? We don't have a exact number of the students we accept. As far as what we'd like to have as a freshman class, next year's freshman class, which will be the class of 2025, we are looking for 100 freshmen to be part of that class. So obviously we're going to accept more students than that because some students will receive our acceptance and may decide to go to a different school. But the more direct question is we are looking for 100 freshmen. And if you'd like to be one of those freshmen, then you want to listen to my next piece, which is, how to make that possible. So thank you, Tristan, for your questions. And if anyone else has questions, feel free to jump right in. So again, as Holy Trinity being a Catholic private school, we do require an entrance exam, which for Holy Trinity, we will have a number of different exam opportunities. The first one will be Saturday, December 5th. And our tests this year are going to be in person, but we're also going to have an opportunity for a remote test. So if you are right now, let's say you're 100% remote from your school and you are not comfortable yet coming into a school building, by December, we still will have an opportunity for you to take the test for Holy Trinity while you're at home. And basically what we'll do is we'll do very similar to what your experience is when you have your teacher on the screen remotely sort of teaching to you, is that we'll give you all of the materials you need for the test. And then one of our staff will have a call like this, like on Zoom, where you will all complete the test together. So you don't have to worry about keeping your own time. You don't have to worry about what comes next. We will help you virtually through the testing. So it'll be on Saturday morning, December 5th. If you can't make December 5th, we will have some other dates available, but really December 5th is the biggest day to think about and to schedule for your exam here at Holy Trinity. The exam also acts as your application for admission. So when you come for your exam on December 5th, we're going to ask you to also bring some of your academic records. So we're going to ask for your 6th, 7th, and the first quarter of your 8th grade year. If second quarter, if you have it, we're going to ask you to bring that with you for the test. And then we're also going to ask you for any test scores from your school that you may have taken from either 6th or 7th grade. So that way, when you take the exam, we also already have your academic records, and we can make a decision about whether or not we'd like for you to be part of our freshman class, very shortly thereafter, and then we can work through, the financial and scholarship picture, which we'll talk about in just a second. So You come for the test, you submit your academic information. Some schools will ask you for like an application fee or things of that sort. Here at Holy Trinity, we don't do that. So there is no cost to apply to Holy Trinity. There's no cost to submit any documents. There is a cost for the actual entrance exam, which is $25, but then you'll find that that's the same in all of the private high schools of Chicago. So we are in line with that. So that's the only cost that's related to applying to Holy Trinity is the entrance exam, which is $25. Once you apply, then with our application, we also offer you the opportunity to apply for financial assistance. Holy Trinity is probably one of the most affordable Catholic high schools in Chicago. As you investigate different high schools, you will see, especially in the private school system, a number of different dollar amounts from 12 to 15 to 25. There are even some schools here in the city for high school that are over 30,000 a year. Here at Holy Trinity, we are under 10,000 a year, and we are very proud of that. We have a very large support system for our financing, so we don't have to charge families, a very large amount. However, we do ask families, to be very serious about that financial commitment. So the financial aid process is based on the idea of how many, people in the household, how many people are working, and what is the income of the family. We put that all into account, and then we offer you an opportunity for financial assistance. And we don't have like financial assistance where it's all or nothing. We have it where, depending on the number of people and the income of the house, we have a sort of a sliding scale from 0, which is no assistance, up to almost 50% of the tuition, and anywhere in between. Aside from financial need-based scholarship opportunity, financial aid opportunities, we also have scholarship opportunities, both inside of Holy Trinity and outside. We have partnerships with a number of very popular scholarship programs here in Chicago. A lot of our students at Holy Trinity are part of these programs, which would be things like Daniel Murphy Scholarship Fund, HFS Chicago Scholars. Some of these names I know you've heard of. Those are external partners that we welcome their scholarships here to help you pay for your tuition. We also have some scholarships that are specific to Holy Trinity. So like when you take the exam on December 5th, if you score extremely well on the exam, there's going to be a number of scholarship opportunities that you'll be eligible for. So for example, if you score, 70% or even 65%, there is a scholarship that we have available that pays for about $4,000 of your tuition. There's another scholarship that if you score 90 percentile or higher, we would pay about 92% of the tuition each year. And all of our scholarships, together with the external scholarships, are all 4-year scholarships. So you don't have to reapply for any of those scholarships. For financial assistance, you do have to reapply every year for financial assistance because the income and the makeup of the family is different every year. So we did have a question. How do the students get involved in the development of school? I'm going to give it to one of the students to answer that question, but I think the question is, how do students help the school to make decisions about things like policy and things like that? And I think, Eva, you mentioned that you are part of SGA, which is the Student Government Association. So do you want to say anything about SGA?
I haven't been an active member in SGA this year, but yeah, a lot of, especially with like school policies, you can bring it to their attention. And I think a lot of like the school policies and dress code especially have been changed for the years that I've attended here. I've seen a lot of things change because of the students. Like they mentioned before, they also make new classes that the students want to see. So I would say that. I don't know if Kyle wants to add anything, but you can go directly to admissions, you can go directly to teachers, and they help you.
Okay, thank you, Eva. And so I hope that answered your question. I mean, the basic idea is that we are such a, we're small by design, so there's not 1,000 students here. The maximum student population here in Holy Trinity is 400. So these are really students who want a voice, can have a voice, whether it be related to policy or even, you have an idea of a club as a student. You want to get a couple of your classmates together. You just need a teacher or a member of the staff to support that group, and you could develop your own group. So if you want to do something specific to help the school, you can easily just develop a club that will do that. And that's one of the great things. We have 32 student clubs right now at Holy Trinity, and all of them, or at least almost all of them, have been developed by students themselves. Some of those clubs have been developed by teachers who also have interest and have got other students excited, but the majority of them have been started by students. So are there any questions about the admissions process? The testing takes place in December, and then usually our first wave of acceptance letters with financial packages go out typically in February. And then after you receive an acceptance, then we're gonna ask you to actually register to hold your spot for freshman year, which will typically be in March and April. And then that also includes enrollment. So it's a relatively short process, but there are a lot of important points that, that need to be taken care of so that you can successfully become part of our freshman class. If there's no questions right now, one of the things that we want to do is we want to sort of walk you through Holy Trinity. This will be probably about, 7 or 8 minutes as we just sort of walk through. And I'm going to share my screen again. One of the things you can do on your own is that this 360-degree tour is available on our website. So if you go to our website and you go to the admissions tab, there is a selection for our 360 virtual tour. So you can also take a tour self-guided, and you can literally walk through the school. We're gonna do a little bit of that right now, just highlighting some of the special places of Holy Trinity, but you can also, check out a lot of these places on your own. So I'm gonna share my screen again. And the first thing we see here is I wanted to show, this is sort of our whole building. So we have 4 floors. This is the lower level down here, which we'll see some of the pieces there. And this is our whole building on both sides. So one of the things you'll be able to see when you go to our tour is that you'll be able to see like the whole building. So let's start. We're going to start in the lower level. This is our counseling center. Our counseling center, we have 2 full-time counselors, and what they do is they are responsible for helping the students do through their everyday schoolwork, as well as they also work with college placement and college readiness. So as you can see, there's a number of things, and they're accessible all day. This is our art department. A lot of our students are excited about art. So we have both art for beginners, we have drawing, we have painting, and with watercolors as well as with oil. And this space you're looking at right now is actually our ceramics area for art. Everyone does in our ceramics will have an opportunity to start with raw clay all the way through a finished product within our same space. There are very few high schools that you can do start to finish ceramics in the building. If you see over to the right, there is an oven which is called a kiln, and that actually is not a thing that every high school has, but it's a 5,000 degree oven that cooks the clay and makes it into ceramic. So again, it's an opportunity for our students to, from beginning to end, to do ceramics. Also on the lower level, we have our fitness center. Our fitness center was redone about 5 years ago. And as you could see, it's not just, a treadmill and a couple of weights. We actually have a full weight center that is used for our sports team, and it's also used for conditioning, and any student can get a teacher and actually go and work out. So it has all the equipment there. Some of our gym classes also include time in the fitness center, so you can learn how to use the different pieces of equipment, correctly. Also on the lower level is our cafeteria. One of the things that a lot of our students are excited about is our cafeteria. One is just a space because it's a great opportunity for socializing, but also the food at Holy Trinity is probably one of the best that you're going to come across, especially compared probably to your elementary school. We have breakfast and lunch. Both of those meals are prepared 100% on site. So we don't order in, we don't warm up stuff, we don't microwave stuff. We actually, our cooks who are here every day, cook the breakfast and lunch from scratch every single day. And one of the things that the freshmen, especially, one of their first experiences at Holy Trinity, they're really excited about how awesome the lunch is. You've heard in our video that we saw earlier, we talked about the values of Holy Trinity, and these are the Holy Cross values. The Holy Cross Brothers are the founding congregation of Holy Trinity, and the mission is to make education accessible for everybody, no matter what stature in life you are, no matter how much you can afford, no matter what your academic background is. We want Holy Trinity to be a space where you can come in and feel, valued, to not just be a number. And here, this is, as you come into our building for the first time, this is one of the first things that you will see, is you will see this welcome that has our 5 values: excellence, discipline, zeal, integrity, and family. And every year at Holy Trinity, we select one of those values to make it sort of a theme throughout everything that we do of the academic year. So this year is family. So family is our value that we're concentrating on, and everything that we do within the classroom, our outside the classroom activities, everything that we do is going to revolve around the idea of family, but at the same time also keeping in mind the other 4 values. One of the things that a lot of our students are excited about also is our auditorium. We have a full auditorium, full size. Its original form when it was built in 1927. And I usually joke that if you've ever sat in any of the seats, you will know that the auditorium is from 1927. We do a lot of things here. This is a place where we get together and as a group a couple of times a year for different events. Once a month, we have Mass in the auditorium. These days, we actually have it in a smaller space, and then we live stream it to all the classrooms to follow social distancing. But when everyone's in the building, we use that auditorium a lot for opportunities for us to get together as a family. Also, that's where we conduct our plays. We do 2 plays a year, one in the fall and one in the spring. And what's nice about our plays is that we don't just do regular high school plays that other schools do. We actually create our own plays with the drama club and our drama teacher, and then perform those plays. So that's something very unique for Holy Trinity. What you see here now is the, we call it the RLC, which is the Resource and Learning Center. This is a space that has 2 parts. This part we're looking at now is the classroom part. A number of our freshmen will be in this classroom at least the first semester as they start with us, which is a class where they're learning about how to be successful as a freshman. They're learning about how to take notes. They're learning about different strategies of studies. They're learning about different elements that are going to help them to become successful. And we call that a strategies class. On the other side of the wall is a computer lab where students of any grade can come and get help. There's always a tutor there. There's a tutor there the entire day of the school day. So you can pop in with permission from your teacher. You can pop in anytime and get help from a tutor, or you can use the computer lab because they all have Chromebooks, but this is the other side of the computer lab. I have a Chromebook, but not all those books are able to print. So a lot of students go there. We also have 2 computer labs. Nowadays, the computer labs aren't used as much because every student in our building Every student receives a Chromebook, which is part of their tuition. So these aren't used as much, but actually Ms. Maselli uses these computer labs a lot because they do a lot of collaborative work as part of design thinking or as part of the different sort of B-STEM opportunities. So we still do use these computer labs. Also, we have a number of science labs. You heard from Ms. Henry, who teaches biology. This particular laboratory is the physics lab. It's on the third floor, all science lab on the floor. We have 4 science labs and then 1 robotics lab. So we have a physical science lab, a physics lab, which you're looking at now, a chemistry lab, and also a biology lab. And what we like about these labs, which are quite large, is that you do 2 things within the same class. So you could do a little bit of lecture, a little bit of experimentation, and then you can go with the class period and do some more, deeper sort of, investigation and experimentation within the same period. So we really like how these laboratories are set up, and our teachers are very good to use these laboratory spaces and make them very, very fruitful for the students. The other thing that we'll see on the 3rd floor is we will have a chance to go to our gym, which will be on our tour. Our gymnasium, we call the because we are the Holy Trinity Tigers. So there's signs on both sides of the gym that says "Welcome to the Jungle." This space, and you see some of the, some of the flags and some of the recognitions of our teams that have won regional, sectional, state. And one of the nice things about our small size of our school, but yet having so many sports and student opportunities, is that you as a student have an opportunity to be involved in all these things in a real sense. You're not competing against 1,000 other students to be on a basketball team or on a volleyball team. And this is our home court. So basketball plays here, volleyball, everyone plays here. It's very exciting to have everyone in the same space. And it gets pretty loud in the jungle. And we also have 2 pep rallies, one in the fall, one in the spring, to get everyone excited about the upcoming sports. And so as we round out the end of our tour, I do want to remind you that that this tour is available on our website. So if you do, and I'm going to turn over to Jefferson if there are any questions. This is the time to ask questions or anything that you have seen or heard on our presentation. Just reminding for those of you who are going to the trivia that end of our time,
Hey, Mr. Parker. We're having some trouble with your signal.
To me, and then your gift way. And I think I remember all the questions. I think we were all paying attention. I think all 24 questions have been answered during our time together. So I'm seeing a number of are full and correct. So this is a great time to ask questions to any of the participants. Again, using the box or the chat box. The right. Oh. Where did you lose me?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize about that difficulty with technology. Mr. Parker is actually going to log out and then log back in again. Again, our apologies. I think he was opening up to any questions. So if folks have any questions that they want to ask of either the student panel or our teacher panel, please do so by using the Q&A box or the chat box. Mr. Parker is back. Hello, Mr. Parker.
Hello there. Are we okay, or are we still messed up?
I think we're okay.
Okay, perfect. So I did want to say that if you did have any questions, we are going to be sending up a follow-up email with this recording and also contact information to reach out to me directly in the admissions office. We will make sure that everyone on this call will also receive information on how to register for our December 5th test. And also we will have future session dates, November 7th and November 19th. So if you know a family or a friend, especially one of your son or daughter's classmates who are interested in learning more about Holy Trinity, please pass on the opportunity for them to sign up for one of our upcoming sessions. I do want to thank our teachers, Ms. Free, Mr. Schmitz, Ms. Maselli, Mr. Van Dyke, and Ms. Henry, as well as our student panel, Eva and Nakaya, for spending the morning with us. I do want to thank all of our families who have joined us this morning. And even though we are shorter than the 2-hour window of time, we sort of gave ourselves extra time in case there were, you know, a lot of questions or an opportunity for us to just, you know, talk really about helping you get to know Holy Trinity High School. So thank you all, and we will have a follow-up email. Definitely thank you to our panel for spending the morning with us and suffering through my technological glitches. It is what it is. So thank you all so much. And thank you. We had a note from a participant thanking everybody. So thank you very much. And we shall be in touch, and we look forward to having you continue to learn about Holy Trinity and also be part of our freshman class. So thank you all very much.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right. Have a good day.
Have a good day.